Do you sometimes feel like everything you do doesn't really matter? As you strive to make something of yourself, achieve success, or find happiness, you wonder if it's all worth it. You know, all this running around, chasing dreams, and making plans for the future seems pointless. You can't help but think there has to be more to life than just working hard and trying to achieve something. Have you ever read the book of Ecclesiastes in the Bible? This book delves into these existential questions we all ponder at some point in our lives. It confronts us with the realities of existence, helping us find meaning in a world that sometimes seems devoid of it. Before we dive into the essence of this profound book, let me invite you to subscribe to our channel. By subscribing, you'll be joining a community of seekers, thinkers, and believers who are all on their own spiritual journeys. We release new videos every week, each designed to inspire and provoke thought. So don't miss out. Now let's delve into the depths of Ecclesiastes. Why is it considered the darkest book in the Bible? Why does it challenge traditional religious views? And what truths does it hold that have stood the test of time? These are the questions we'll explore in today's video. Hello, everyone. I'm your host, and together, we're going to be exploring the complexities of the Christian faith. If you've clicked on this video, I believe it's because you're interested in understanding the darker aspects of our faith, those parts of Scripture that seem to contradict the typical image of Christianity. We'll dive into the often overlooked or misunderstood portions of the Bible to uncover profound truths that can transform your faith and your walk with Christ. So, without further ado, let's dive into the heart of the matter. Why is Ecclesiastes called the darkest book in the Bible? To answer this question, we must first understand what sets it apart from other biblical books. Unlike many other books in the Bible, Ecclesiastes wasn't written to teach doctrine or convey historical events. Its primary purpose was to explore life's deeper questions. Who are we? Why are we here? And what's the meaning of it all? The title Ecclesiastes comes from the Greek word Ecclesiastes, which means preacher. This title points to the author's role as a teacher and guide who shares his contemplations and conclusions about life. The preacher, traditionally believed to be King Solomon, grapples with universal human experiences such as joy, sorrow, love, loss, success, and failure. He doesn't pretend to have all the answers. Instead, he engages in deep reflection, searching for wisdom and insight. But why are his musings so dark? The darkness in Ecclesiastes lies in its honest portrayal of human suffering, the inevitability of death, and the seeming absurdity of existence. However, it's essential to remember that darkness in this context doesn't refer to the absence of light. Rather, it highlights the complex, multifaceted nature of life. Just as there is light in the darkness, there is hope in despair. Ecclesiastes 1:2 opens with the famous words, "Vanity of vanities, all is vanity." The Hebrew word translated as vanity is hebel, which conveys a sense of futility, shortness, or breath. The repetition of vanity emphasizes the transient nature of earthly pursuits. The preacher suggests that everything we strive for, everything we possess, and everything we experience is temporary. Wealth, power, pleasure, and even our own existence are all subject to change and eventual disappearance. He goes on to say, "What do men gain by being wise? How is it profitable to them that they have long life and see many generations? One generation goes and another comes, but the earth remains forever. The sun rises and the sun goes down and hastens to the place where it rises." Hastening. This passage underscores the cyclical nature of life. Generations come and go, but the earth endures. The sun keeps rising and setting in a never-ending cycle. It's a reminder that our individual lives are part of a larger, eternal order. While this may sound disheartening, it also offers a unique perspective. If everything is temporary, then nothing is permanent. Not our successes, not our failures, not even our pain. This realization liberates us from the burden of clinging too tightly to any earthly possession or achievement. It encourages us to find joy in the present moment and appreciate the beauty of impermanence. As the preacher reflects on the meaninglessness of chasing worldly pleasures, he writes in chapter 2, verse 11, "Then I considered all my constraining works which I had done, which I had toiled to do, all of them. And behold, all was vanity and a striving after wind, and there was no profit under the sun." Here the preacher describes his pursuit of pleasure as a futile effort. The Hebrew term profit in this context implies any kind of meaningful result or satisfaction. However, he finds that indulging in sensual pleasures leads to emptiness rather than fulfillment. In a culture that often glorifies instant gratification and material possessions, Ecclesiastes reminds us to look beyond surface-level pleasures and seek deeper sources of happiness. The book encourages us to engage in activities that bring true satisfaction and contribute to something greater than ourselves. In chapter 3, verses 1 to 8, the preacher beautifully illustrates the rhythm of life. "To everything there is a season, a time for every purpose under the heaven, a time to be born and a time to die, a time to plant and a time to pluck what is planted, a time to kill and a time to heal, a time to break down and a time to build up, a time to weep and a time to laugh, a time for war and a time for peace." These words paint a vivid picture of life's ups and downs. Birth is followed by death. Planting yields harvest. Killing is juxtaposed with healing, and times of sorrow are balanced by moments of joy. This passage teaches us that life is full of contrasts and we must embrace all its phases, both the pleasant and the unpleasant. It's a reminder that our feelings and circumstances are ever-changing, and that finding meaning in life requires embracing the full spectrum of human experience. Chapter 4, verse 8 tells us, "For what are the things a man can do who may come after him?" The preacher questions the point of striving endlessly for wealth or fame when those things will ultimately pass to someone else. He challenges us to consider how our actions affect those who come after us. Are we creating lasting value, or simply accumulating things for our own temporary enjoyment? This passage encourages us to think beyond our immediate circumstances and consider the broader impact of our choices. It reminds us that our true legacy lies not in material possessions, but in the positive influence we have on others. Finally, chapter 12, verse 13 reads, "The end of the matter, all has been heard. Fear God and keep His commandments, for this is the whole duty of man." The preacher concludes his reflections with a call to action. Amidst all the contemplation and questioning, he offers a clear directive: fear God and obey His commandments. This passage encapsulates the essence of Ecclesiastes. While the book explores life's complexities and challenges, it ultimately points towards a higher authority. Our duty as humans, according to the preacher, is to recognize our limitations and submit ourselves to a higher power. Only by acknowledging our dependence on God and living according to His principles can we truly find meaning and purpose in our existence. I want you to take some time and reflect on the words of Ecclesiastes. How do you interpret its message? Has this book ever resonated with you during times of uncertainty or struggle? Feel free to share your thoughts and experiences in the comments section below. If you found this video insightful, don't forget to hit the like button and share it with your friends and family. And if you haven't already, please subscribe and join our growing community of seekers and thinkers. Thank you for joining me on this exploration of the depths of our Christian faith. Until next time, may you find peace in the midst of life's complexities. Remember, you are loved and you matter.